So with the adoption of the various 21st century technologies like the XGen and X issuer, are you seeing an increased trend of bringing those issues under some level of control?
Yeah, I see such issues getting reduced, at least to some extent, in the system. Because when you, like the online trading and execution thing that the NS is still planning to do through the STP process, yes, all these things will help reduce this manual process of doing things within the capital market, and it will, all this paperwork will reduce, and from there, all these various activities within the system to some extent will reduce. For instance, now, thank God for CSCS. Ever since CSCS has been existing, though most of these, some operators within the system still participate in this unlawful dealings in the system, but with time, if you go through the transaction history of any stock, you will discover when, who, and how such transactions were perpetrated. So this modern system and the key initiatives being introduced by the Oscar-led NSE management team will, to some extent, help reduce these infractions and abuse in the system.
And definitely, other registrars will sit up and begin to align properly.
Sure, this is a good step and in the right direction. So, for instance, one of the staff of the registrar was suspended from taking part in market activity for good 20 years.
That's very serious.
It's a very serious issue for his career. And if you, right now, I don't know how old the guy is, but if you had 20 years to his age, time will have passed.
Now let's move on to letters and of course feedback. The shareholders, the share support service of ProShare always have the letters and concerns, and I guess there's also the feedback. So do you have letters to them?
Yes, we have like 3 that I want to share with our viewers. Like, I have one here on share certificate and dividend. Before I go further on this, let me state that the ProShare Share Support Service stands as a unit that has been contributing to investors' protection and upliftment of the Nigerian capital market by helping in solving share-related issues. For instance, let me go to the ones I have here, like the one on I have a letter here from an investor that complained about Dangote Flour Mills shares that the person applied for as early as 2007. The person says, since then I have not received the share certificate for it, and I have my proof of payment and duplicated share slip. Please, how can you help me address this issue? Because I have tried several mediums and don't know what to do. Before I throw more light on how to go about this issue, I believe one of the problems numerous investors out there have is what to do, where to go, and how to even go about solving these investment issues. And that's the essence why we have the ProShare Share Support Service in place. Like this issue, for instance, now, let me start by saying, one, what can lead to issues like this? Non-receipt of share dividend and certificate. One, it might be as a result of wrong capturing of the address of the investor in the process of capturing the data this person filled.
Before the investor has the information.
Yeah, she filled in her application form. That can be a kind of error on the part of the registrar. That's one of the factors that can lead to this. Another factor is the issue of change of address. It's possible the investor might have moved the thing has been posted to that address. There was nobody to lay claim, or is just lying fallow in that building. Maybe there is nobody that could correspond forward to the investor. And another issue that can lead to this is this postal service. At times, our mailing system is not something to write home about, because after like 3-6 months that you have posted a correspondence to an investor, most of this, the post office will now return it back to the registrar's outfit, claiming they could not deliver the correspondence. These are the issues that could lead to this. Like this issue on Dangote Flour Mills, for instance, is being handled by the former Oceanic registrar, which has now been taken over by EDC registrars. Right now, we have this particular issue has been forwarded to the concerned registrar, but we are yet to get a feedback from them.
How long does it take for a feedback on issues like that?
It shouldn't take time. I think the problem we have with some of these registrars is some of them, because of the system, some of them, they are trying as much as possible to guide against fraud.
Because the system may have issues of bureaucratic bottlenecks.
It's possible. Some of them might even receive the mail and they will ignore it. Maybe their process does not support the issue of responding to inquiries via email. It's possible maybe they have not thought of having a customer care service via email. It's possible, because we have some that are very active, they are up and down. Immediately you send them such inquiry, in less than an hour or two, you get a feedback.
That's something that this particular case, the ED registrars should really work on, and trust they're listening to this and they would expedite action on this particular case.
Exactly.
Can we move to the next one?
Yeah, another letter I have here is on private placement.
Okay, private placement.
Yes. This was sent in by an investor. Let me go through the letter. I said, please, I want you to use your good office to help me recover the money I invest in the private placement with Partnership Investment Company Limited since the year 2008. I was told they will list the shares with the stock exchange. Since they refused to list with the stock exchange as promised, it's my right to ask for refund of my money. I invest 400,000 naira. Please, I need your help, because for the past 2 years, me and my wife has no job here in Italy, and we need money to start small business.
And that was the period we had the market.
Exactly.
Was that a factor affecting that?
It's possible. It's possible. You know, some of these companies that plan to come to the market through one means or the other, most especially through this process, they might discover that the market, this is not the right time for them to get listed on the exchange, because the general downtrend in the market might affect the performance of their stock, and it will just water down the value of the stock. So some of them do have such claims that they can, right, this is not the right time for them to get listed on this. Around 2011, 2012, a lot of even existing coded companies planned to come to the market to raise fresh funds, but they couldn't do that. For instance, I know of UBA, they rescinded on their decision to come to the market because of the trend in the market as at then.